Hi everyone, welcome to the new episode of Yotewo podcast. And today we have our new guest, Julia Sanzharova. Julia, thank you very much for joining. Um, I think let's start with a bit of introduction on yourself. So you work in a very specific niche, which is supply networks. If you can maybe expand a bit more, in general, your career, how you got into this field, and general, what is it that you do?
Okay. Well, thanks. First of all, thanks for having me, Alexander.
Glad to.
I'm happy to be here. I found your podcast very genuine and
Thank you.
full of life, and
Thank you.
you can tell that you truly listen to your guests and not just shoot questions.
Thank you. Glad to hear that.
I got into a supply chain when I joined a global FMCG company. It's largest beer producer with a $50 billion revenue. And I joined this company as a management trainee.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, I just found myself in the inside of the brewery. Machines are moving, materials are
Yeah.
coming, shipments are happening. So it's a very live organism.
Yeah.
And I studied computer science. So it was a mind-blowing experience for me.
Okay.
So you can see how barley was harvested by a farmer.
Okay.
Then it became beer in the brewery. And then it ended
That's
up
cool.
in a glass of
Interesting.
someone enjoying festival.
Yeah.
So it's a beauty of this business complexity and interconnectivity.
Yeah.
So when the company asked me where I want to go,
Yeah.
what my first role should be, I chose to go to supply chain myself
Okay.
because I truly believe that it's the main brain of the organization. It's a central nervous system
Yeah.
that connects everything together.
Yeah. Agree.
Demand, production, logistics, finance.
Yeah.
And I've been growing last 17 years across regions, countries, teams,
Wow.
vertically, horizontally.
Yeah.
I manage budget up to $1 billion. I led teams up to 100 people.
It's amazing.
And the last 5 years, I'm helping companies to digitalize their supply chains.
Okay.
So I help them to rethink how they plan,
Yeah.
produce, and deliver. And digital transformation programs they run for several years, and
Yeah.
they're worth of tens of millions of dollars, and they are at the intersection of business and technology.
Yeah.
And that's what I enjoy doing. That's what my passion is.
Amazing. That's really cool. With FMCG, I really love this topic in general because startup founders are very far from this industry, like of something physical, and it's like a breeze of fresh air. When you talk about something like that, because it's pretty much way more. I don't know. It's way larger than the usual startup businesses that we would think of. But cool. So yeah, you run SaaS transformation programs. Let's dive a bit more into this. For people outside of the industry, can you tell in simple terms what it means and how it helps businesses? Pretty much.
Yes, to your point, it feels very real and very physical
Exactly.
to be in the brewery and seeing all these movements happening.
Yeah.
When I explain what I do, I tell typically that I help companies to predict the future
Okay.
and also to prepare for it.
Okay.
So if you imagine that you need to manage a global beer company, the first question that you need to answer yourself, how much of your beer people will drink
Yeah.
tomorrow,
Of course.
next week, next month, next
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah.
And then you need to answer the question in which city, in
Yeah.
which region, in which retailer they will drink this beer.
All the data. Yeah.
And what beer they will drink, which brand, sub-brand, etc. And so this is called demand planning and forecasting.
Yeah.
And there is a whole process how to you answer this type of question.
Yeah.
And then once this is done, then the next tricky question comes in is how you're going to supply. So this is what the company wants to sell.
Yeah.
But how do you make sure that your supply chain can deliver what the company wants to sell?
Okay.
Because you will often see that you will not have enough capacity.
Yeah.
You will not have materials. Your supply doesn't have a passion fruit
Yeah.
on stock anymore that you need for your cocktail line. And
Yeah.
your materials are stuck in the port.
Okay.
And so supply chain is like playing 4D chess
Okay.
game
Got it.
where you're managing capacity, time, and cost and
Yeah.
over dozens of moving pieces.
Yeah.
And that's what SaaS digital transformation do. They take all these processes.
Yeah.
They are normally done in some legacy system in
Exactly.
Excel.
Yeah.
And they take it into one platform. And this one
Okay.
platform becomes this replacement of all these spreadsheets, and it becomes a digital brain of
Yeah.
the organization.
Okay, that's amazing. So it's pretty much for me. It sounds like it's pretty much like puzzling up the whole aspects of the business to make sure the predictability is right. Pretty much about what it should be in the future. Cool, great. Especially when it comes to the scale of FMCG, because obviously FMCG is all about scale. What are sort of the hardest parts of driving changes there, innovation? Like, what's sort of the most rigid part of it?
I think the biggest challenge that I faced is connecting vision and execution.
Okay.
Because when you're talking to executive and leaders, they all want to be world class.
Yeah.
But when you enter a room for your design discussions,
Yeah.
the first thing that you hear from an end user, why can't you just replicate my Excel?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
system?
Yeah.
And so it's a reality gap, and you're trying to
Okay.
build renovate a house while you're still living in that
Yeah.
house.
Yeah. It's very tricky.
So you're trying to picture how the new kitchen will look like when you're still cooking
Cooking in the
dinner.
previous one. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a good example.
And so basically we're trying to visualize for the end users what their day in the life, week in the life, month in the life will look like,
Yeah.
with the process maps, with
Okay.
workflows.
Cool.
We're demoing them the system and how it will look like.
Okay.
And once people start seeing it, they actually start
Yeah.
believing it. So it's called change management.
Change management.
It's a
Okay.
whole science of how do you make sure that people get on with you, on board with you, and
Yeah.
follow you in the journey.
Okay.
And it's not like a fancy deck about change management. It's
Yeah.
really about psychology,
Okay.
empathy, and very structured approach.
Yeah.
And I have seen companies that did not really put this into focus, and they treated change management as a foresight, and that's where adoption really struggled.
Okay.
And the companies that put a dedicated focus and stream, empathetical stream of this change management,
Yeah.
their adoption of the system
Okay.
skyrocketed.
Okay, interesting. Is there a specific like time period of how long it usually obviously depends on the size of organization, but on average how much time the company needs to fully transform to a digital domain?
Yeah, I think it depends on the scope, and it
Yeah.
depends on the size of the
Yeah.
company. But
Yeah.
if we're talking about global FMCG companies, 10, 30, $50 billion revenue,
Yeah.
it would be 3 years because their geographical
Of course, focus is
scope
different, yeah.
is very high. You can have 135 countries easily.
Yeah.
And so typically you would start with a pilot
Yeah.
market where you try to build all
Just
the
try everything, yeah.
requirements,
Yeah.
try everything, prove it,
Yeah.
and then you start the rollout with some adaptations. 80,
Okay.
20%. 80% is already coming from the
Yeah.
functionalities developed in the market,
Yeah.
pilot market, and then the rest comes in the
Okay.
rollout.
So about 3 years on average for large enterprise.
3
Okay.
years, yeah.
That's interesting. And expanding on this topic for the transformation, what do you think are the common sort of pitfalls or reasons for failure that companies experience when trying to digitize? Like, what's sort of the one of the reasons that they can't succeed in this?
Yeah, typically I would say I see 3
Yeah.
traps, and I see many companies fall into those traps.
Okay.
So the first one would be data readiness.
Okay.
It's very important to sit down with your vendor and understand data requirements.
Right.
Make sure that the data is complete, it's clean, it's validated by the business.
Okay.
And the advice is don't start building any workflows until the data is
Clean. Yeah.
validated, full, consistent.
Okay.
Because otherwise you will be building on a shifting sand,
Yeah.
house on a shifting sand.
Yeah.
And when you are coming with demos to your users,
Yeah.
they cannot give you meaningful feedback
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they don't understand whether this is because the data is wrong
Yeah.
or because the functionality is not what they expect.
Yeah.
So it becomes very tricky
Okay.
to validate and
Okay.
demo the functionality.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Data
that's
readiness. Yeah.
one trap.
Yeah.
Second trap is scope management.
Okay.
So typically, those programs, they run with hybrid project methodology.
Okay.
Waterfall applies only to the first couple of phases, but when the actual build comes, we switch to agile.
Yeah.
But the tricky part is that by the time you start building the solution,
Yeah.
everything is already locked. Cost, timeline,
Yeah.
scope, everything is locked.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so you need to have a very strong management of that scope because every new requirements
Yeah.
can lead to rework and
Yeah.
extra costs. So you really need to do a strict backlog management of all the requirements.
Yeah.
and have the courage to say no
Okay.
in the middle of the process.
Yeah.
And the third
It's
step
important.
is the getting people on board. This is the change management that
Okay.
we talked about. It's important so people feel that they are heard, that their concerns are understood,
Yeah.
and that you will always have people who are advocates of the system, they are
Yeah.
enthusiasts, and then you will have detractors. And the science is how do you
Manage the whole
manage
thing.
that? Yes, how do you translate those detractors to neutrals and
Yeah.
then hopefully to new advocates?
Yeah.
And that's the science of
Yeah.
the change management, and it's often overlooked
Yeah.
in the big transformation. It's like nice
Interesting.
to have,
Yeah.
but this is actually the driving
Yeah.
force behind very successful transformations.
Yeah.
So I would say these are the three
The three main ones. Yeah.
three main forces:
Yeah.
data, discipline of scope management, and belief in the program. And then when you get these three pieces
Yeah.
sorted,
Yeah.
your program will fly.
Exactly. I would also assume like the third one is probably like, I don't know, in my opinion, that would be the hardest one probably because especially when working with different departments, people of different management levels, I assume it's very hard to get everyone on the same page in terms of like what to expect and how to use it and stuff like that.
Yes, you are right, because you
Yeah.
will have very conflicting requests,
Exactly. Yeah.
priorities, and you need to consolidate all that and use your
100%.
thought leadership and say, this is how other companies are
Yeah.
doing this. You're not the only one.
Yeah, exactly. To convince them.
To
Yeah.
convince
Yeah.
them that this is what the good looks like, to
Yeah.
demonstrate it to them and follow your lead. And
Yeah.
it's a lot of
Hard work.
hard-
Yeah, I can imagine, of course.
it requires lots of empathy,
Yeah,
understanding,
of course.
listening
Yeah.
skills,
Yeah,
and
personal touch,
convincing-
I think. Yeah.
personal touch, and also convincing skills.
course.
But of course, there is a always a leadership mandate.
Yeah.
In a good transformation programs, leaders would speak on stage.
Yeah.
And say how important this program is.
course.
That's exactly what we're trying to achieve. What are the targets? What is the vision?
Yeah.
And that helps to connect that
Yeah. With
big
the
dream
whole. Yeah.
and the execution.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. Cool. Great. The next one I have is also actually related to this one, to be honest. Part of the conviction, I think, convincing. How do you make sure that the tech, and how do you, I think, deliver this message to the stakeholders that this tech initiative will translate into actual measurable business value? Like, is it something like how do you approach this in general?
Actually, the truth is that the program will not even start.
Okay.
There is no business case.
Okay. Cool.
I've seen companies debating over these transformation programs for years.
Yeah.
Because it's a very large investment, tens of millions of dollars. So
Yeah.
unless there is a clear business case,
Yeah.
Nobody will invest
Well, yeah,
in a
100%.
shiny Excel.
Okay. Yeah.
So it always starts with the business case. In
Yeah.
supply chain, digital transformation, business case come from improving forecast accuracy.
Yeah.
So if you can predict more accurately what you're going to sell, where you're going to sell, what you're going to sell, it will automatically reduce your supply chain costs because you can
Yeah.
be more efficient in the supply chain execution.
Okay.
There is also a comparison of actual shipments versus least source
Okay.
allocation.
Yeah.
Then there is also a safety stock reduction. So inventories,
Okay.
companies would hold billions of dollars
Exactly,
in
yeah.
inventories. So if you can optimize 1% of inventories, that's already a very huge
Yeah. Of course.
saving, and you can
100%.
pay back
Yeah.
the entire investment.
100%.
So there is a very clear business case.
Yeah.
And it's actually very strict because every year business leaders would need to go and approve their budget again.
Yeah. Of course.
And
It has to show the results. Yeah. Of
you
course.
need to show the results. You need to show that there is value. And
course.
every year you need to reapprove it again.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah. So I think some of the metrics is pretty much where measurable impact on the. Okay. Interesting. That's quite cool. With working with large enterprises, this is something I think all founders are wondering about. In general, many companies. What is one thing you believe is misunderstood about working with large enterprises? In general, because it's for a lot of people, it's like dark horse out there. They don't really know how to work with them. What's one thing you think is misunderstood about them?
I think that I'm coming from a large company, so for me it's like
understandable.
It's understandable. But I
Yeah.
think there is a big misconception that big companies, they have endless resources,
Yeah.
infinite.
Yeah.
And actually, the reality is that large scale companies, they have strategic priorities.
Yeah.
and they operate under big
Yeah.
pressure.
Yeah.
Okay, so this kind of investments, they are debated over months and months.
Mm.
And it's important to bring value fast
Yeah.
and prove that this project
Will actually
will actually
have a positive
benefit
impact. Yeah.
and it will have a positive impact on the business.
Yeah.
So it's important to find a way how you will accelerate this
Okay.
value generation in the very first release. And typically that would come with
Interesting.
data science, machine learning, and
Yeah.
better predictions of your demand.
Yeah.
That's the typically we see the first, let's say, driver of value.
Yeah.
Other thing is what misunderstood is the power dynamics and politics
Okay.
between global and local teams,
Okay.
between business and IT teams.
Yeah.
And the biggest learning is that you can have the best technology in the world, but if there is no ownership, it will
Of
not
course.
fly.
Yeah.
And what I found interesting is that it's much easier to work for the vendors. It's much easier to work with IT professionals
Okay.
because IT professionals, they oversee similar projects in different parts of their organizations.
Yeah.
They do similar
Yeah.
digital programs for finance, for sales, for
Yeah.
marketing, etc. And they understand the process, rules of the game, responsibilities,
Yeah.
what are the common risks, and what is their role.
Okay.
They're very familiar with the process. While if we're talking to business people, very often for them it's like one
Yeah.
project in 10, 15 years.
Yeah. Exactly.
And they don't really know
What's
what
happening
to
outside?
expect
Yeah.
from a program like this. And I learned it myself the hard way. This is exactly how I was
Okay.
leading my first digital supply chain transformation on
Yeah.
the client side. I was learning by doing.
Mm.
So I think the
Okay.
biggest thing that we can help those business professionals is to educate them
Yeah.
so that they know what to expect,
That's interesting.
what are the common risks, what are the things to watch out, what is their role, and what are the common pitfalls,
Yeah.
so that they are ready for it. Otherwise, business people, it feels like we're throwing them in the middle of the ocean and
Yeah.
see if they are able to swim or not.
Yeah. 100%.
And so this IT and business,
Yeah.
these two powers, they need to be synced for the
Yeah.
program to succeed.
Okay.
They both need to support the vision and strategy of this program. If
Okay.
one of them falls out, the program will not fly.
Okay, that's very interesting. So pretty much to summarize, it's essentially giving the value early. It's syncing the tech and business department and educating them on the whole thing. So pretty much that's actually really, really good advice. And I think can be applied in general in working with enterprises. It kind of applies in all process with them. So it's a really good one. And we very perfectly approached the next question. So you're very experienced in leading teams. Can you share, what's your approach to, working with people effectively? What do you think is the key to this difficult part of the business?
Yeah, I think that for me, team management and leadership, it's all about building relationship and trust.
Yeah.
And trust isn't built in days, it's forged with a fire.
Yeah.
When you're running a project, you go through a typical stages of team forming,
Yeah.
storming, norming,
Yeah.
and performing.
Yeah.
And conflicts are inevitable
100%.
at the stage of storming.
Yeah.
So it's important to have the conflict management skills
Okay.
and to understand what's the driver of the
Yeah.
conflict and
Yeah.
how to constructively
So
manage it.
yeah.
And leadership and people management, it's not about taking decisions in the boardrooms or navigating calm waters.
Yeah.
It really comes out when you're going through the storm and how do you manage
the whole thing. Yeah.
ship
Yeah.
through the storm.
Yeah.
And I think the most meaningful connections and bonds I build with people who have been with me through the high and the lows.
Yeah. Yeah.
And seen me in those moments, because you need to show empathy, consistency, and ability to drive through the storm. And when you're running projects like this, the pressure is very, very high. So on the client side, top management pressures the middle management to deliver on time within the budget, right?
Yeah.
And then this middle layer, they will translate their pressure to the vendor.
100%. Yeah.
And you're like under enormous pressure. You need to operate under enormous pressure. The stakes are very real.
Yeah.
Deadlines are very tight. Dependencies are very complex.
Yeah.
And team management for me is creating still space for the team to speak up, to take risk, and grow in spite of all this pressure,
Yeah.
and turn the pressure into focus rather than friction.
Perfect. No, that's a great advice, especially I think for young leaders, young founders. It's especially an important topic because they lack the skills of conflict resolution. So I think it's a great advice for them as well. Great. Sticking to that question, and this one is related a bit to what we do at Yotewo, because you work with large clients. Do you see, and especially when it comes to digital transformation, it's especially important. Do you see in their operations or maybe in your own this sort of not a struggle, but sort of a need for hiring right tech talents and IT talents for these specific purposes? Is it something that you face daily or yeah?
Yes, I think that it's absolutely a struggle, and I faced it myself
Okay.
when I was on the client side, and we were already post, let's say, the go live period.
Yeah.
We were trying to build internal intelligence and capabilities,
Yeah.
and I was trying to hire solution architect.
Okay.
And it's not a typical profile for
Yeah.
FMCG industry.
Yeah.
Many IT processes are actually already outsourced in global FMCG. We always work
Yeah.
with partners.
Of course.
And I think our talent sourcing strategies, they simply didn't work.
Okay.
And I think that vendors know this problem.
Yeah.
So they offer a leadership to train the existing
Okay.
team members.
Okay. Interesting.
They help them to they help them to build what a job description looks like.
Yeah.
What is the typical profile?
Okay.
What is the training plan?
Yeah.
And also, it's highly recommended to start this process early on.
Yeah.
Because in that case, these internal team members, they can follow and shadow the project team.
Yeah.
And they can gain practical experience from
Yeah.
the project. So when the project is gone, they
Yeah.
know what they need to do.
Yeah. 100%.
And what I see also working is to have a hybrid model.
Yeah.
Hybrid model means that you have your internal team
Yeah.
and
I
upskill
think that's
them.
the best one. Yeah.
Yes, but also you maybe hired somebody from the market who has already this kind of skill set,
Yeah.
and then you still have external vendors who know the know-how and the most
Yeah.
complex topics. So I think this
Yeah.
hybrid model is the sweet spot for
Exactly.
large-scale companies when they're going through all these changes and transformation, because
Yeah.
continuous improvement will always be needed. If you need to keep adoption high,
Yeah.
you always constantly need to adjust the system to
course,
the
yeah.
new reality,
Of course.
industry changes, market changes, whatnot.
Yeah, 100%. No, I 100% agree. And I think, especially in this case, like for instance, with solution architect, I think for FMCG companies, it's very important for the solution architect to have experience with something like that already. And it's always very tricky because it's not the usual profile, as you mentioned. So I think it's important to have access to those specifically right fit talents. Cool. Getting outside of this topic, so you write a lot about AI as well, and a lot of people these days would argue about its inflated value, impact on the business, things like that. What's your general take on AI? Just share sort of your perspective, how you see it. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I write a lot about AI. I consider myself a AI enthusiast.
Yeah.
I often say that AI is new electricity.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it will completely change the way we live our lives
I agree.
in a way that we cannot even imagine right now.
Yeah.
And AI is not new in supply chain.
Yeah.
Because we have been using machine learning for
Years and
supply
years now.
Yeah, in forecasting, supply chain optimization, supply chain
Exactly.
analytics, been there for years. It's an industry norm.
Yeah.
But what is new now is generative AI
Yeah.
and agentic AI.
Yeah.
And this technology that will change the way how human interacts with technology.
Yeah.
And I'm using generative AI knowledge agents daily.
Okay.
So we have a own database in terms of what capabilities we offer as
Okay.
a vendor.
Yeah.
I can ask within seconds a question like, how does capability work?
Okay.
What's the difference this capability versus that capability?
Yeah.
How do I model this? And it's available to me at fingertips.
Yeah.
Before, I would need to go and open 600-page product guide,
Yeah.
somehow search this information, go
Exactly.
through some training materials, call
Yeah.
my solution architect or strategist.
Yeah.
And now I just ask this question and I have
It
a
gets all
reply
done.
that
Yeah.
maybe even my solution architect doesn't know
Yeah.
it actually exists.
Yeah.
And it's available to me within seconds.
Yeah.
And similarly, we see our clients, they're
Yeah.
also adopting
Yeah.
these knowledge agents, generative AI agents. They throw all the project documentation, all the solution design documentation, all the training materials into
Yeah.
one agent, and they can easily get instruction on any question they have. So AI is a great tutor.
Yeah.
Knowledge agents, they are great for newcomers onboarding, upskilling.
Amazing.
And so there is a huge use case for that. Even when we run a project, at some moment of time, project team needs to hand over support to the customer success team.
Yeah.
Okay. And in the past, it would take us weeks to do this handover.
Yeah. Exactly.
And now we just throw everything into the machine. We say this is the checklist, find the information according to the checklist.
That's
and
amazing.
handover happens within hours.
Yeah.
So it's like you are creating a digital twin of your most skilled employee, and it's available to you 24/7 and for everything.
Yeah. 100%.
So that's there is a big use case for generative AI, knowledge AI. There is also a big use case for agentic AI.
Yeah.
Agentic AI is coming to us. So we see that agentic AIs can be used for analysis like cycle over cycle. So why did my plan change this week versus last week?
Yeah.
We see that agentic AI can help us do the post-game analysis. Why do I have out of stock? Based on what decision? Based on what forecast? What happened? And they can run scenarios and propose, recommend actions. So agentic AI is also coming to the supply chain space, and this is new. Yeah. And I truly believe that it will transform the way we manage supply chain.
That's amazing. So it's pretty much already deep within the business, and it's already widely used. Cool. That's really cool and good to know. Great. What do you think is the impact of AI on job market in its turn now, in terms of the general and like maybe AI specialists as well? Like, generally, what do you think is like how it's going to change the way people work?
I studied generative AI at Purdue University.
Okay, nice.
And I like the phrase from my professor, Richard Everts.
Yeah.
He said that if you're working from a coffee shop using VPN, yes, your job is going to be replaced by AI.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And I hear career coaches are saying that graduates, they struggle to find a first level entry type of the jobs because this type of job is already done by AI. And if you look at McKinsey's study on the state of AI, it says that service operations, customer care, supply chain, and inventory management, these are the functions that will be impacted by AI, and the workforce will go down. Yeah. But IT and product development actually may see an increase in the workforce.
I agree.
And my answer to that, it's good that you agree with McKinsey study. And so my answer to that is that you just need to embrace it. Yeah. And be curious about AI, upskill yourself. Yeah. And if you start using AI, you will be ahead of many people already.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So just embrace it. And it's human nature to resist change.
Yeah, of course.
Half of my life, I didn't have any phone at all. Yeah. Then we had a stationary phone, pagers, phone with buttons, phone with smartphone. And every stage of that switch, people always resisted the change. Of course. But now, majority of us are having smartphones, and we cannot even imagine our life without the smartphone. 100%. And that's exactly what we are trying to do with this digital transformations. We are trying to create ways of working that people cannot even imagine that one day they were doing it in a different way, and that's the only way how they will do their work.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree with this one. I think even while maybe for generalist junior roles it will be not difficult, but the requirements will just change. I think instead of like these days, for instance, we had previously we had like, for instance, intern in software engineering. I think it's going to be just changing the way what companies are looking for. Maybe it's going to be like, junior AI engineer, or maybe, junior AI engineer in supply chain. Like, it's going to be going niche and more focused on some certain things. But I think definitely it will still, be around. It's not that junior people will not be able to find jobs. I think they still will be. It's just that the focus of jobs is changing a little bit.
Yeah, and I think actually for junior people, it's way more easier to adopt all the AI.
Exactly, yeah, because you can, exactly.
Because it's their new norm.
Yeah.
That's what they...
That's actually a good perspective, actually.
So I think that all the younger generation, they have all the chances to
outperform,
succeed and outperform because they don't have any fear towards AI. Yeah. and they can use all these tools.
Yeah.
Just be ahead of the game, create their own companies, their own
Exactly,
products, just by using all these tools.
Yeah, I agree. So truly, yeah, native people.
Yeah,
Cool.
AI native generation.
That's
Yes.
great. That's a good one. Great. Then the next one I have is in terms of industries and verticals, which ones do you think will fall under the impact of AI over the next, couple of years? So which ones do you think are not yet impacted enough, but will be soon?
So again, I like this McKinsey study,
Yep.
State of AI, with which you agreed.
Yeah, yeah.
That the most highly impacted function is marketing and sales
Yeah,
right now.
yeah,
And in the industries like technology, professional services, media and telecom,
yeah.
also in consumer goods and retail sector, this is where we see the high adoption of AI.
Okay.
And again, I can only talk about the way I see supply chain because
Yeah.
that's where I'm
Yeah.
subject matter expert. And I envision that I will enter a room with the business in the business shared service center where
Okay.
all the planning activities are centralized.
Okay.
And I will see desks without human. There will be a computer,
Okay.
and AI agent is working inside this computer,
Okay.
and there is no human being behind the desk.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's how I envision the future of supply chain. That there will be these
Okay.
AI workstations,
Yeah.
but still I see that human is going to be in the center.
Yeah.
So we're going to move from human feeding into machines, machines feeding insights into humans.
Okay.
And like you are in the airplane, you have a pilot, it's autopilot,
Yeah.
but you still need a pilot
Yeah. To manage. Yeah.
to make the big decisions,
Yeah.
navigate turbulence, and chart the course.
Yeah.
And that's where all these planners will stay in the center and heart of these operations,
Yeah.
because they will be empowered by all these insights that are coming from AI agents to
Yeah.
make the smarter and faster decisions. So this is how I envision
Cool.
the future of supply chain.
Cool. No, that's really amazing. I really like the wording. Instead of people feeding the AI will be actually feeding people back. I think that's a pretty cool one. Cool. Great. And well, pretty much the last question we have. In terms of the mindset. So, what do you think is one mindset shift that helped you to move from just managing projects to leading digital transformations? It's a very huge thing. What do you think is one thing that, kind of this mindset shift that helped you to, get to this point?
Yeah, I think the biggest mindset shift is that transformation isn't about technology.
Okay.
And transformation about people.
Yeah.
Transformation is done by people,
Yeah.
for people, and in general everything that if you look around, everything is
Yeah.
created by people.
And
And
for people. Yeah.
And for people, yes. And you cannot drag people into the future.
Yeah.
You can only invite them into
Invite
the
them.
future.
Yeah. That's a really good saying. I really like it.
And the other mindset shift is that big jumps realistic.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of cases where large-scale clients, they want to jump from no process
Okay.
immediately to the
So
space.
yeah.
And it's always good to dream big.
Yeah.
Shoot to the moon and you will end up among the stars.
Yeah.
That's a good way of doing it.
Yeah.
But still do it in a phased manner,
Yeah.
in a step-by-step manner.
Yeah.
Because I've seen companies that tried this approach, going
Yeah.
straight to the space, and it didn't really
Yeah.
work. So I see
Cool.
my role as a transformation leader to show people that they're not going to be replaced by the technology,
Yeah.
but that technology will free them,
Yeah.
will elevate them, will free them from all this monotonous,
Yeah.
boring, routine, analytical type of work,
Yeah.
and it will power them to make creative problem solving,
Yeah.
innovate, and just amplify their human potential. And digital supply chain is not about being just very efficient, but it's an interaction and intersection of human potential
Yeah.
and machine intelligence.
Wow. Love it. Thank you so much, Julie. I really, really, really loved that and enjoyed the chat in general. Really nice one. I'll leave all the links to your LinkedIn, to everything needed in description. And yeah, Julie, thanks so much for coming. Loved it.
From London streets
Yeah.
to global screens.
Thank you.